What Zara doesn't tell their customers is that the outfit you're wearing right now might have been a data experiment, a limited-time psychological trap, and part of a global logistics race that started weeks ago in Spain, long before you ever saw it hanging on that last one hanger. On the surface, Zara is that cool, curated store at the mall clean aesthetic, smelling faintly of perfume and cardboard. But behind the scenes, Zara operates more like a tech-powered casino, quietly tracking what catches your eye, what you put back, and which pieces make you second-guess yourself. What most shoppers never notice is how much Zara predicts their reactions before they happen. The rush to grab something before it's gone, the pressure to buy now, the sense that new arrivals appear the exact moment you want them. None of that is coincidence. It shapes how often you shop, how long your clothes stay in style, and how much money you spend without realizing it. Because Zara doesn't just sell clothes, Zara sells urgency. It sells the quiet panic that someone else might walk out with the thing you wanted. Today, we're stepping inside that system, the secrets Zara never prints on the tag, how your decisions become their data, why new collection doesn't always mean new, and what all of this means for your wardrobe on the other side. So the next time you walk into Zara thinking, I'll just look, you might realize the store has already planned exactly how you're supposed to feel. The game you walk into. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever noticed that walking into Zara feels confusing? You don't walk into clean aisles of jeans here, tops there, loungewear over there. You walk into a vibe. Outfits put together on mannequins, random pieces next to each other that somehow make sense. A dress next to a blazer, next to a skirt you didn't know you needed. That's not bad organization. That's strategy. Zara doesn't want you to come in, grab the one thing you plan to buy, and leave. They want you to wander, to explore, to pick up a blazer and suddenly think, actually, I might need new pants too. And maybe shoes, and that bag, and wow, how did I end up with 8 things? The store is laid out like a physical scroll. You're not meant to shop by category, you're meant to shop by story. Each section feels like a different character. Minimalist cool girl, corporate but edgy. I only drink iced coffee. Vacation mode, main character energy. You see yourself in 1 or 3 or all of them. That's where the trouble starts. And then there's the music, the lighting, the slightly rushed vibe. People everywhere, arms full of clothes, trying to grab sizes. Even if no one says a word to you, the space is screaming. If you don't move, you'll miss it. Here's the first thing Zara doesn't tell their customers. That feeling is engineered. Zara deliberately keeps smaller quantities of each item on the floor, instead of giant stacks that make you think, oh, they have plenty, I can come back later. You see thin racks, a few sizes, maybe one lonely medium left. Your brain doesn't see inventory levels. It sees scarcity. It sees limited. It sees this might not be here tomorrow. And a lot of the time, it really won't. The disappearing act. One of Zara's biggest unspoken rules is simple. If you snooze, you lose. Most traditional brands work on collections months in advance. Zara can go from an idea to something hanging in stores in a matter of weeks. That speed means they don't have to overcommit to one design. They can test something, see if people like it, and then move on. What they don't exactly advertise is how ruthless that system feels from the customer side. You know that moment when you see something in Zara, think, I'll buy it next payday, and then when you come back, it's gone. Not moved, not in the back, gone. It's not the employee's fault. The system is built that way. Zara constantly cycles items in and out. Some pieces might only be in stores for a couple of weeks before disappearing. They may show up online briefly, then vanish. It's like fashion whack-a-mole, and the more people experience that heartbreak of, I should have bought it when I saw it, the more they learn a lesson Zara loves. If you like it, buy it now. Zara has basically turned fear of missing out into a business model, but it's not just about creating urgency. It's also about protecting themselves. If something doesn't sell well, it quietly disappears and they move on. No big piles of unsold stock haunting the store for months. Just gone, as if it never existed. Meanwhile, the stuff that does sell well, that data gets fed right back into the system. You are the focus group. Here's another thing Zara doesn't tell you. Every time you walk into their store, pick something up or don't pick something up, you're basically working for them for free. Zara doesn't rely on big ad campaigns or glamorous focus groups to figure out what's working. They use you. They collect a constant stream of information about what's selling, what's not, what's being returned, and what people are asking for. Store managers report back regularly what customers are complaining about, which colors sell fastest, which fabrics people avoid, what what people keep asking for that the store doesn't have. That information goes back to the designers and planning teams. They adjust designs, fabric choices, lengths, prices, then a new batch of clothes arrives. 2 weeks later, they do it again. So while you're in the fitting room struggling with a pair of trousers that are perfect in the waist, but weirdly short, somewhere in Zara's universe, that frustration is data. From the outside, it looks like Zara is simply on trend. From the inside, Zara is running a live experiment in every store, every single day. Imagine if Netflix could change an episode based on how people reacted to the first 10 minutes. That's basically Zara with fashion. But of course, they don't say that on the label. They don't say, you are now entering a testing environment. Your emotional reactions may be used for future product development. They just keep dropping new stuff, and you keep coming back to see what showed up this week. The silence strategy. Now, here's one of the strangest things about Zara. For a brand this huge, they barely talk. Think about it. How many Zara commercials have you seen on TV? How many giant influencer campaigns? How many times have you seen a massive Zara billboard shouting about a sale? It's rare. Zara spends far less on traditional advertising than many global fashion brands. Instead, their marketing is the store itself. The giant glass windows, the perfect mannequins, the constant flow of newness, the sense that this isn't some discount chain, it's aspirational, cool, urban, European. You know the vibe. In a way, Zara lets you market them. You buy something, post a mirror selfie, tag the outfit. Your friend asks, where did you get that? You say, Zara. Done. Silence is part of the strategy. When a brand doesn't constantly talk about itself, it feels more confident, more mysterious, like it doesn't need to beg for your attention, it just has it. But that silence also means Zara doesn't have to answer too many uncomfortable questions. Questions like, where was this actually made? How many of these did you produce? How long will this last before it falls apart or goes out of style? What happens to the clothes that don't sell? Most customers never ask. They're too busy trying not to lose that blazer to the person hovering behind them, waiting to grab it the second they put it down. The price you see versus the cost you don't. Let's talk about price. Zara positions itself in that sweet spot where things feel affordable, but not too cheap. It's not luxury, but it's also not bargain bin fast fashion. That $50 blazer, that $70 dress, it feels like a good deal for how it looks. It feels grown up, put together, like you're getting designer-inspired pieces without paying rent-level money. But the price tag only tells one part of the story. The entire fast fashion model constant new drops, short product lifespans, trend-driven designs is built on speed and volume. Clothes are made quickly, in huge quantities, often using cheaper materials and complex global supply chains. If you've ever noticed that some Zara pieces feel amazing and last year's, while others mysteriously lose their shape after 2 washes or start pilling like crazy, that inconsistency is part of the trade-off. When a brand is producing thousands of designs with constant updates and changes, quality control is a moving target. Then there's the environmental side. Every time Zara drops a new collection, that's more fabric, more dye, more water, more energy, more shipping. Fast fashion, in general, has a huge environmental footprint, from the production of synthetic fabrics to the mountains of clothes that end up being thrown away when trends die or quality doesn't hold up. Zara likes to talk about its sustainability goals. They highlight conscious collections, recycled materials, recyclable bags, and to be fair, they have made changes. But for a lot of critics, the math doesn't quite add up. A brand built on constant newness will always struggle to be truly sustainable, because the most sustainable item is the one you already own. But where what you already have doesn't move as many units as new in-store. The hidden clock on your wardrobe. Here's one more thing Zara doesn't spell out. A lot of their clothes have an invisible expiration date, not because they literally fall apart, though some do, but because of trends. Zara's superpower is speed. They can take a silhouette, a color, a detail that's blowing up online or on the runway and get it into stores before most brands have finished mood boarding. That means when you shop at Zara, you're buying what's right now. The problem? Right now moves fast. That viral neon top, that cutout dress, those cargo parachute pants. By the time you've worn them a few times, the internet might have already decided they're over. And Zara? Zara has already moved on. There's a new shape, a new color, a new detail in stores. Your old trend piece suddenly feels old, so you go back. You look for the next thing that feels current, and the cycle continues. Zara isn't just dressing you. In a way, way, they're training your brain to see clothes as temporary. Wear it a few times, post it, get the look off your system. Move on. That's great for business, not so great for closets, wallets, or landfills. But you're not supposed to think about that when you see the new drop. You're supposed to think, if I don't get this now, I'll regret it later. And Zara is very good at making that seem true. The sizing chaos they never explain. If you've ever walked into Zara, grabbed your usual size, taken it into the fitting room, and immediately thought, there's no way this is a medium. This is a medium for who? Congratulations. You've experienced one of Zara's most universal mysteries. Zara sizing is unpredictable on purpose. And no, not in a conspiratorial, let's ruin people's self-esteem way. More in a, we create thousands of designs under extreme time pressure, and the sizing system is basically a race against itself way. Different design teams work on different products, different factories produce them, different patterns are used. A medium in one style is not guaranteed to match a medium in another. It's not even guaranteed to match the medium they made last month. But here's the part Zara doesn't put in the fine print. Inconsistent sizing makes people try on more clothes. Trying on more clothes increases the odds you'll buy something, anything, just because you're already half undressed, emotionally invested, and deep inside that might as well mindset. Some shoppers think the sizing chaos is accidental. Some swear it's intentional. The truth sits somewhere in the gray area. Chaos that just so happens to benefit Zara. Because when you finally do find something that fits perfectly, it feels like winning the lottery, and people don't walk away from lottery wins. They buy. The mirror effect. Let's talk about the fitting room. If the store is a casino, fitting room is the high roller table, and Zara knows exactly how important that moment is. The moment you look at yourself and decide, yes, I need this. There's a long-running online debate about whether Zara's mirrors make you look thinner, taller, smoother, slightly more expensive, or like the lead character in a moody European film. Zara has never confirmed anything like that, but customers swear by it. There are TikToks of people walking in confident, walking out with self-esteem so boosted they practically float home. Whether the mirrors are intentionally flattering or simply lit well enough to trick us, the result is the same. You look at yourself, think, hold on, I look amazing, and suddenly a $59 top becomes destiny. The funny part? The number of people who say they got home, tried the same item on under the harsh light of reality, or worse, office bathroom lighting, and thought, this is not the item I bought. But by then, Zara has already won. The speed behind the scenes. By now you know Zara moves fast, but you might not know how fast. Imagine you're scrolling Instagram and see a celebrity wearing a wild new jacket. Most brands won't react until the next season. Zara has teams watching those trends in real time, analyzing what's blowing up, sketching within hours, making prototypes within days. If the design passes the internal "this will sell" radar, it gets greenlit and shipped to production before the meme cycle even ends. Then comes the superpower. Zara's supply chain is almost unnervingly efficient. Factories close to their Spain headquarters produce the more expensive, trend-sensitive items. Longer distance factories handle basics and higher volume pieces. Everything flows like a conveyor belt. We're talking design to store in weeks, sometimes days. For context, many fashion brands work 6 to 12 months ahead. Zara moves like a Formula One pit crew while everyone else is still on their formation lap. Here's what Zara doesn't say out loud. This speed isn't just about being trendy, it's about beating everyone else to the punch. If Zara gets the look in stores first, you buy it from Zara first. Simple. The labor behind fast. Now we need to step behind the glossy windows for a moment and talk about the part of Zara customers rarely think about, the people who actually make the clothes. Zara has repeatedly said they are committed to improving labor standards, monitoring factories, and ensuring safety, and yes, compared to some other fast fashion giants, Zara does have more oversight systems in place. But speed always comes with pressure, and pressure in manufacturing often lands on the workers, not the executives. There have been public cases where workers left notes inside Zara clothes asking for help because they weren't being paid by subcontractors. There have been investigations into factories in countries like Brazil, Turkey, and India raising concerns about working hours or unsafe conditions. Not every piece of clothing has a scandal behind it, but the truth is simple. Any company producing this much, this fast, across a global factory network is going to face oversight challenges. Zara's official statements always promise improvement, more audits, stricter rules. And sometimes they do step in and correct things, but this is the part they don't put on posters. Fast fashion's demand for speed creates an environment where things can go wrong quickly. When customers walk through the store thinking about the perfect birthday top, the people who made it are often invisible in that moment. Zara doesn't remind you of them. Why would they? It slows down the shopping high. The country confusion. Ever notice that Zara tags rarely say one country? Instead, you get things like made in Morocco, made in Turkey, made in Bangladesh, made in Spain, and sometimes multiple tags inside the same item. The silent truth? Zara uses a massive global network of suppliers. Certain factories specialize in denim, others in knitwear, others in tailored pieces, but one reason the tags seem so random is that Zara moves production constantly. They shift factories depending on demand, price, capacity, or timing. If a trend spikes overnight, they'll reroute production to whichever factory can deliver the fastest. To customers, this looks like normal variation. To insiders, it's a whirlwind. This flexibility is part of Zara's success, but it also means quality can vary wildly from piece to piece. One dress might feel premium, the next feels like it was made out of recycled grocery bags. Same brand, different factory, different week. Zara doesn't hide this, but they also don't explain it. Most customers assume inconsistent quality is just fast fashion. In reality, it's the shadow side of Zara's speed. The returns game. Now let's talk about returns, because Zara recently did something that shocked a lot of customers. They started charging return fees in several countries, including the US and the UK. Before, online returns were free. You ordered a bunch of sizes, tried them on, kept what fit, returned the rest. Easy. Zara quietly changed that. Now, returning something by mail costs money. The part they don't highlight? This move drastically cuts costs for Zara. Shipping returns back, processing them, repackaging them, all of that is expensive, and a huge percentage of returns cannot be resold as new, even if the customer only wore the item for 5 seconds. By charging a return fee, Zara does two things at once. They discourage over-ordering, which reduces returns, which saves the company money, and they nudge customers into returning items in-store instead, because in-store returns are free. But in-store returns have a beautiful little side effect. Once you're inside the store, you shop. A shocking number of people return a $40 top and leave with $80 worth of new collection. Zara never loses. The outlet mystery. Here's something you may not know. Zara actually has outlets. They're called lefties in some countries, and they sell excess Zara stock, older designs, returned pieces, and items Zara doesn't want to discount in its main stores. But Zara barely advertises this. You don't see Zara outlet. Everything must go. Banners splashed across social media. Why? Because Zara wants its brand image to stay pristine, premium, curated. Discount culture doesn't match the aesthetic. They'd rather quietly divert old stock to a different store and pretend Zara never has leftovers. This is the part of the business customers rarely see. Zara's image is built on constant newness. The leftovers go somewhere else. The customer training loop. Here's the biggest secret of all. The thing Zara will never say out loud. They have trained customers to behave in a predictable cycle. Customers learn that items disappear fast, so they visit Zara more frequently. Customers learn that new items drop constantly, so they always expect something fresh. Customers learn that trying something on is a gamble, so they bring more items to the fitting room. Customers learn that buying now prevents regret later, so they buy faster. Customers learn that returns cost money online, so they go to the store and shop more. Every part of the Zara experience reinforces the next part. It's a loop, a beautifully constructed one, and the most incredible part. Customers don't resent it. They love the chase. Zara isn't forcing anything. They've simply created an environment where shopping feels like discovery, like treasure hunting, like you're in on something cool, and that emotional experience is worth far more than the clothes themselves. Would Zara ever tell you any of this? Would Zara ever tell you any of this? Probably not. They won't tell you that the blazer you bought last month may never come back in stock, because exclusivity makes you shop faster. They won't tell you that your favorite jeans might fit completely differently next year, because they've changed factories, patterns, and suppliers 3 times. They won't tell you that half the reason the store feels chaotic is because chaos encourages impulse buying. They won't tell you how many items are returned, discarded, recycled, or destroyed behind the scenes. They won't tell you how your return habits shape future designs. They won't tell you why your Instagram feed suddenly looks like a Zara lookbook, even though you've never followed them. And they definitely won't tell you that everything in the store, from the lighting to the layout, to the constant unpredictability, is specifically designed to make you feel something. Not manipulated, not tricked, just emotionally responsive. Because the truth is, Zara isn't just selling fashion. Zara is selling psychology. After everything you've seen in this video, the speed, the tactics, the mysteries, the design strategies, the chaos, one question remains. Is Zara bad, or are they just incredibly good at what they do? The answer depends on who you ask. Fashion lovers say Zara democratizes style. Sustainability experts say Zara accelerates overconsumption. Shoppers say Zara gives them confidence and outfits they couldn't afford elsewhere. Workers' rights groups say Zara's production model is too fast to be fair. Economists say Zara is one of the most innovative companies on the planet. Influencers say Zara is their closet. Minimalists say Zara is their enemy. Everyone is right and everyone is wrong, because Zara isn't one thing. Zara is a system, a machine, a mirror reflecting our own obsession with newness, aesthetics, trends, convenience, and identity. Zara doesn't tell customers the whole story, but customers rarely ask. We like the mystery, we like the feeling, we like the chase, and Zara knows it. And the next time you walk into Zara, you'll know something you didn't know before. You're not just shopping, you're stepping into one of the most sophisticated psychological engines in the retail world. And the question you'll ask yourself isn't, what does Zara have today? It's, what does Zara want me to feel today? Because the clothes change every week, but the strategy, that never does. And if this video opened your eyes to the hidden world behind those perfectly folded Zara tops, don't just keep it to yourself. Your friends deserve to know what they're really walking into, so share this with them. If you want more deep dives into the secrets, your favorite brands hope you never learn, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment telling us which store you want exposed next.